What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 57 of the Game Bolt Podcast, the official podcast of thegamebolt.com, which normally posts to iTunes every Tuesday and YouTube every Wednesday. Excuse me. Due to complications last night on my end, we had to reschedule, so everything will probably be pushed back a day, so it'll post to iTunes on Wednesday and YouTube on Thursday this week. Sorry for anybody who's looking forward to watching our stream of it last night, or just looking to listen to it today. But we are live on Twitch, and again, this is the official podcast of thegameball.com. And joining me this week is none other than my wonderful co-host Grant.
Brett, that crying Jordan emoji has gotten out of hand. Or not
Yes,
emoji.
it has.
It's
yes,
gotten way out of hand.
Oh my goodness,
It's so annoying. Like some of them are great. Like they just put like that girl playing like the flute on like Michael Jordan.
For the uninitiated, there is a meme of Michael Jordan crying, and it's
great.
used incredibly extensively in sports. When a team loses and someone's crying at the end.
Like whenever a team loses.
They'll just Photoshop Michael Jordan crying on the person's face.
Like it doesn't even matter if it's a big game.
Perfect, no matter what. And last night was the national championship for men's college basketball, and Michael Jordan was in attendance because his school UNC was playing, and people just started making crying Jordan memes while he was there. Like they were already prepared, and then UNC lost on a buzzer beater, and it blew up. Like they're just crying Jordan memes everywhere.
Like no, I was just scrolling through Twitter. At least every other tweet had one of those in there.
Yeah, and it was, oh my goodness, it was just at an all-time high, and I think it's officially peaked. And I've never been crazy about it, but last night I got a good laugh at it. So
I was gonna say this quickly. It's sad that no one's gonna remember Marcus Page's tying shot because that was incredible.
I didn't get a chance to see. Oh, or we tweeted out the link.
Oh, we fixed it, yes.
Podcast, there we go. Okay, cool.
But yeah, I'll save that for the sports podcast.
I'm going to tweet that out myself. Anyways, also joining me this week is none other than the wonderful human being that is Jason.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm all good.
That's good to hear. Cody, I don't know why Cody's sitting that sad face.
Oh, no.
Let's see.
Oh, Cody tweeted it. Rip. It's over.
I'm sorry, Cody. Cody, thankfully tweeted out our link.
Cody's on top of
the podcast. Cody's wonderful. I'm glad to hear you were old good, Jason. Anything new going on for you guys?
Not too much. I did see that meme today, but I had no idea what it meant until you guys just brought it up. So.
Yeah. Like if you're not really a sports fan, you're gonna be like, you'll probably recognize Michael Jordan, but it's like, why is he crying?
Like you probably would have seen it, but you don't really understand it at all.
Like,
right.
If you're into sports, like whole like just memes and everything, like you understand it just blew up.
Yeah.
But oh well.
We'll save that for the sports podcast.
Yes. Anyways, what do you say we go on to what we're playing lately? Jason, let's start with you.
Okay, yeah, so I've been playing this new game, came out a few days ago, called Miitomo, and that's Nintendo's first app on the App Store.
That's what it is, okay.
So, if you don't know what this is...
Mario game.
What's that?
It's not the new Mario game?
No, sadly.
Darn.
Yeah, if you don't know what this is, basically it's... they're calling it a social experiment.
Oh my god, I love my picture on the way. Medusa from Smite. It's awesome.
And Cody made me a creeper.
And Jason is Ollie and Drippy.
Oh, that's totally me.
Oh yeah.
Cody, you should have made me the Rocket League basketball thing.
Should have made you like the American flag.
Yeah. Should have made me like the I don't know, like just a picture of the sky.
Anyways, Miitomo. Jason, tell us about Miitomo.
So Miitomo, it's basically, that's what it is. They're calling it a social experiment. It's not really a game. It's just it's a social experiment. Like you hop on and then you make a Mii, and you pick like your personality, and then it gives you a voice. And you instantly, like, the first thing you do is you connect to Facebook and Twitter, and it starts adding your friends from your social medias.
Mm-hmm.
And then what it does is it asks you a bunch of questions, like, what's your favorite book? What's your favorite movie? What did you do last night? And you answer all these questions, and then it shows that to your friend, and it's sort of like a conversation starter, where it like kickstarts a conversation, and you like go back and forth, and your Mii's read these conversations, and I don't know, I don't know who they're targeting this to because it's it's kind of like some questions seem like really kiddie, and then other ones are like asking about like girlfriends and boyfriends and stuff. So like I don't know, it's really weird. It's like they're kind of targeting all ages for this, but yeah, I don't know. Like you can dress your me up. Like you start with like sweatpants and a t-shirt, I think. And
Okay.
Brett, you'll love this. You can take your shirt off.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
I,
The first time I opened this app, like I opened it like halfway through the day, everybody had already figured that out, and everybody I saw, like all my friends, everyone was just walking around with their shirt off, and I was like, oh my god, Brett needs to play this game because it's totally him.
but either I had to update something like I have it on my phone right now, but I totally figure why I haven't started yet because I've been meaning to check it out. Cause like I see on Twitter, um, like somebody will run into like Mike Drucker and like he doesn't have a shirt on and like he'll like meet his underwear, like and like he'll just say something like sassy and it's like I don't know Mike Drucker personally, but like you could tell like that's just something you would say like based on like his tweets and like if you know him and it's just it's like it's pinpoint perfect.
Yeah, I added Pierre right away from IGN, and he sent me a photo on day one. It was like him shirtless, and he was like his me was dancing with like a winky face around hearts, and I was like, Pierre, what are you doing?
Oh,
So yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of shallow right now. Like all that's really all it is kind of like a conversation starter. Like there's not much to it. Like you can go to another me's house, you can change your outfit. That's really about it. But my guess is that they're gonna update this over time, and maybe it'll end up being more like what's that 3DS game that's real similar to it? Uh, Tamagotchi.
yeah, Tomodachi Life. I'll,
Yeah, I'm gonna guess
like,
at some point, like maybe they'll add like a town and you can walk around and do different things.
hmm.
Because I can
so
see
right
people
now
get sick of
it's
this real quickly.
yeah, right now it's kind of just like a demo type thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're calling it an experiment, and that's kind of all it feels like right now. Like I played it for a couple days just to kind of check it out, and I'm already like, yeah, I don't know how much more I'll hop on this. It is the first game that's
Yeah,
connected
of
to,
course.
Right.
they've rolled out their new My Nintendo Rewards system now. And
Um,
so you get like these platinum points for answering so many questions a day, for changing your outfit, doing all these random things. And that's really the only reason that I'm coming back now is to get those platinum points to,
Mm.
I don't know, hopefully get some cool rewards in the future or
yeah, do
something.
you like use these to get discounts on games and stuff?
Or like
Yeah.
little trinkets and stuff.
I just found out today though, I looked up a wiki on those coins because I was so confused because there's 3 coins on the site and then the game has its own coins. So right now there's platinum coins, there's silver coins, gold coins, and then there's Miitomo coins. So there's like 4 coin tier system, and I'm still confused. Like I don't understand. Like you get gold coins for buying games, and then you get discounts towards other games, and then you get platinum and silver coins for
What?
downloading the games, but it's like random, like what you get for what, and then like
That doesn't even make sense at all.
yeah, and then I looked at their site for like spending on these rewards, and some of them say like, oh, you can use 600 silver or um, platinum coins to get this reward, but it just like mixes them together. Like it doesn't even let you choose like how many of each one you're grabbing. So I'm like very confused, and then you have to claim those rewards within a month, and then after you claim them in a month, you only have 6 months to use those coins. So it's like all very kind of jarbled right now.
It sounds kind of similar to Club Nintendo, where like
Yeah.
you accumulated coins for buying software, and then they would have physical rewards, like a cool Legend of Zelda bag or maybe a puzzle or something. Whatever you wanted, you could purchase like a download code for a virtual console game or something. But I do like the idea that I can use it for main software because like it's cool to like be able to get say Earthbound for essentially free. Like I'd rather get a discount on like say the upcoming Star Fox or maybe Splatoon or something like it's it cheapens up the price of a full retail game.
Yeah, for sure. And like Cody was saying, he says I was answering some questions first to Miyamoto, but now I just read all the answers. Some people are dead serious and some are ridiculous. I'm one of those people that I'm just ridiculous on there. All I do is post puns. And that's literally all I do. So if you don't like puns, don't add me.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I think for now I'm pretty much done with that. I might come back once in a while to grab some platinum points, but that's about it. But other than that, I've been playing the Uncharted collection again. I went on a platinum spree the last week, and I got 3 platinums in the last week.
Oh,
So
nice, nice.
yeah, I
Wait, which
re-platinum.
games? Oh, on all of those?
So I platinumed Uncharted 1 a few months ago when that released again. I platinumed all on PS3 and I decided I was going to go for it again on PS4. So
Okay.
I got like 3/4 of the way through 2 back then and I stopped. I don't know why. So I jumped back on that, finished that platinum, and then I platinumed Uncharted 3. And I totally agree with Brett now. You know, Brett, you were saying like a couple episodes ago how you changed your mind. Like you thought the first one was the best, and then after playing the third one, you're like, this is
How dumb I was to say that Uncharted was the best.
Yeah, that was quite
Yeah.
a foolish statement, Brett.
But
Yeah.
I didn't remember a single thing about Uncharted 2 or 3, so I was like, well, I remember.
Oh, so are you guys on the Uncharted 3 train now?
Totally. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nah.
I see. I think that way now because I think so. I haven't played through them since they came out, and I think it was still in high school when 2 came out. No, you know what? I think I graduated already, but I was younger and I had more time, and I think I appreciated that game was longer. But looking back at it now, it's like every single room you walk into has like 5 like waves of enemies, and there's just so much padding in that game that I appreciate 3 so much more because they got rid of so much of that padding. And they just shorten it up and they focus more on the characters and less on the like uh, the assets and stuff inside the game. You know what I mean? So I felt like it was a tighter, better story, and I appreciated just even like the cool camera angles they had in there. Just I don't know, from a film perspective, it's just I like that one so much more now.
Yeah, I feel like I should play back through them, and now we're so close to Uncharted 4, I might just wait until afterwards.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play through them again. I doubt I'll play through Uncharted 1. I don't really think it's I've concluded it's just fun, but I'll probably play through 2. Maybe that's not a definite, but I might play through 2 and 3 again before 4 is out.
Yeah. The only thing I have to say that I don't like about 3 that I was reminded of is that Talbot. It's such a weird story choice. Like they gave him like godlike powers and they never explained it. And I was kind of talking with Brad about that in the chat where like there's a point where he gets shot right in the head.
Yep.
He comes back like 2 seconds later, and then I think he runs through a wall. And
Wait, he does?
Yeah, and people joke about that all the time, and I know the directors like Neil Druckmann and them were kind of joking when I think they were joking when they said like, yeah, we might explain it in 4, but I don't think they ever will. I think they kind of just dropped that stuff and kind of went on and did their own thing. But I don't know, it would be a funny conclusion.
Yeah, he's really the villain. He just came back.
Yeah.
Somehow. I mean, the way I haven't played it in probably like a month or 2, but I think it could just be from drinking that water that was mixed with whatever the stuff that caused like Nate and Sully to hallucinate. I don't even honestly when I first played the game, I don't even remember that sequence. Like that's such a weird sequence in that game.
See, that happens very early on though. It's like when they get to that castle, which is very early in the game, he gets shot in the head. And that's long before Drake gets drugged and long before they even get to
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I just at like towards the end of the game.
Yeah, well, see if that happened towards the end, then it totally makes sense because he is hallucinating some weird stuff towards the end. But yeah, just it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 and 2 is a huge jump in terms of the puzzles and the narrative and everything, and I think 3 just builds upon it even more. It's not. I wouldn't say it's as much of a jump, but I think it's significant enough, and it's more of a substance type led jump where the story is better, the characters are more, you feel more emotion for the characters and everything. So I think you should replay them, Grant. But I'm all aboard the Uncharted 3 train at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, Grant, what are you playing?
Still playing Rocket League, no surprise there. I'm not going to talk about it because I want to hear what Brett thinks of Quantum Break. I don't have it yet. I'm so excited for it, but I'm not going to be getting it until Friday, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, Brett, go ahead and talk about that.
Oh yeah, before I get into Quantum Break, just quickly go through.
Oh yeah,
I
right.
have gotten back into Final Fantasy 14 and won't delve too much into it, but
Oh, you haven't talked about MLB either. That's right.
yeah, I'll talk about MLB as well because that's the first time talking about it on the podcast. But Final Fantasy playing with Colin and Cody. We got Cody's friend into it, and I'm just basically I'm hooked again. I have a level 60s character cap, sorry, level cap, and I have that with my DPS class, and I've unlocked a 24-man raid and some of the more difficult dungeons. So it's just like I'm doing those for the first time, and it's more content and more cool things to do. And I'm gonna be writing why I love Final Fantasy 14 so much this weekend. I think it's excellent. But to like Grant was saying, I've been playing MLB The Show 16. As I've said before, MLB The Show is my favorite sports franchise, and my review is on the site. You want to check it out for more in-depth thoughts on it. It's the best in the series. They do a lot to freshen up Road to the Show in particular, and they add some new modes that if you played MLB, I'm sorry, if you played Madden or FIFA, the concept will be familiar. Um, but Road to the Show, what they do is they add it's called Showtime meter, and essentially it kind of slows time down to a halt. Kind of a theme here with slowing time. But it basically like slows time down to like a crawl. And say you're a pitcher, there's a greater chance of you striking a batter out, or if you're a hitter, making solid contact with the ball. And you can use this meter whenever you want, but you really want to save it for that chance of bottom of the ninth, you have 2 men on, you're trying to get that game-winning hit, or you're pitching for the win, and it's a really tense moment. There are a couple men on, and if you mess up, that could cost you the game, and you would get the loss. And they add perks. Some are consumable, like if you make contact with the ball, uh, you're gonna induce a ground ball, or you'll induce a fly ball. There's passive perks like I think it's called like Coors Field Altitude, and it's where the Colorado Rockies play. And Colorado being like at a higher altitude, the ball just it travels better there. Home runs are more likely to be hit there, just based on the air there. And basically, how the perk works is, it's like you're playing in that altitude no matter what. You're basically just gonna hit the ball better. But yeah, Road to Show, it just feels fresh. And I admittedly I have been just getting bored with the joke. It's the same thing every time for me. Like I've already reached the peak of my player's career, and I've achieved pretty much everything I want to achieve. So it's just not as fun or challenging anymore. So it's nice to see they added some nuances to it. They've improved on Diamond Dynasty, which is like their collect cards and make a team out of it. They add like new cards and everything, new players. Players maybe in the best year of their career, or maybe just the highlight of like a player who had like a really good 4 year stretch where he's a really productive player. They'll highlight the year, and he'll just be basically an improved card of that. And then they added a battle royale, which is great. You would know this. It's basically draft champions,
Okay.
where it's basically you're given 25 rounds, and you have to draft. You're given say 5 players to choose among, and you draft one player for 25 rounds. And my main issue with that, it's similar to FIFA's take on it, where you have to pay the in-game currency to participate, and Madden doesn't do that. And it takes some time to accumulate stubs, which is the MLB's currency.
Yeah, well, in Madden, isn't there like if you do ranked, then you have to use those coins?
Yeah, I think there's like play tokens or something in Madden. If you
Okay.
ranked. But my main issue is that you have to pay, and its stubs can take a while to accumulate. And then just 25 rounds, and like the first 2 rounds, you're gonna get like star caliber players, or higher end baseball players, and the rest can be pretty good players and then just average after that. And I wish maybe there's a chance to get one or two more higher end players because it's like I had like my 2 stars on the team and the rest are just like, and they're okay. Like maybe they might play well. I'm not sure. So I'm not crazy about the mode, but it's there. I appreciate that Sony San Diego added it in, and hopefully they can improve upon it in 17 if they do retain it and it's received well. But yeah, MLB The Show it's the best it's felt in a long time. And to wrap up, what I've been playing, um, I've been playing Quantum Break, which was just released. I don't know where that came from. Just released today, and I've played through Act One, which I'd say is probably about 2 hours, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's first the visually the game is gorgeous. Like just seeing like the lip syncing and the way like the characters kind of rose with each other. Excuse me, and the reactions. I'm like, oh wow, like that's. Excuse me, I can't stop burping. It's like it really like it looks authentic, and I'm really impressed with it. They have Sean Ashmore and Aidan Gillen, from Game of Thrones, and I believe I can't think of the other show right now, but their in-game character models. I showed it to my mom, and I was like, I showed her Aidan Gillen's character, who's the main villain of the game. I was like, who does this look like? She's been watching Game of Thrones, like that looks like the guy from Game of Thrones. It's like, boom, you're exactly right, and it's amazing how she, detects from a video game. That's Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. My main issues, it's just right now in the visual department, it has like a grainy type look to it. I know Jake said that maybe they're just adding it in to make it look more like a film.
Yeah,
And
I
I
think I know
wasn't
what you're
sure
talking
if it was
about.
on my TV, like it was just because of my TV or something. And like there are certain sequences where it just looks like it just doesn't look normal. And like my problem there is that, like my brain and my eyes get fixated on those details, and I'm not looking at the gorgeous character models and the design, and all these landscapes and these this creative level design that Remedy has put into this game. So that's my main issue, and there is some motion blur stuff, but outside of that,
By
from
the
what
way, speaking of the film grain, have you watched the in-game, like have you watched the film or the TV show inside of
yeah,
it yet?
I actually watched the first episode. I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah, yeah. The gameplay it feels it's a little loose for my taste, but it's something you can probably adjust to. You play a new game, it's gonna feel weird at first. Um, it feels cool. Excuse me. Uh, the powers they give you, the time powers. It's it's cool. Like they incentivize you to run around and utilize these powers. And you run to cover, and your character kind of automatically like assimilates to the cover instead of pressing A to take cover. You tuck up against the wall or crouch behind something, and you have 3 enemies. You can use a certain power on one guy to kind of freeze him into like a almost like a little like time lapsed wave where he's frozen, so you can just um, you have time to kill him, or you can use that time where he's not doing anything to take out the other guys, and you can do like time dodge where you move across the room and time will stop for a second or two, and you can kind of get your bearings if you're taking some serious damage, and
Hmm.
then there's basically like a bullet shield, and I'm not sure if this is the extent of the powers. I don't know if I'm gonna get any more, but so far, it takes some getting used to just with how they're mapped to controller. It feels really good, satisfying to use though, and I'm glad this is there. The story is so far is pretty interesting, and um, one thing I notice is it's like Telltale, where certain choices you make are gonna have an impact on the story. at least for the live action show. And then there's little details that will affect the live action show, which I thought was fascinating. Like, for example, you're walking with a certain character, and there's an equation on the board that these people for this company wrote down, and the character was like, "Oh, this equation is totally wrong. No wonder why this experiment failed," and they fix it. And I go into the live action TV show, and for maybe 5 seconds, two people were eating lunch, and they say, "Oh, did you notice that someone solved this equation?" I was like, "Oh wow, like if I had not done that, maybe that conversation wouldn't have come up." So I thought that was really cool. But as for the live action TV show, I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was pretty good. Um, so far, and there's some action in it, and it felt like my choices had weight to them. The two routes I could have gone after like the first act, there seemed to be two very different routes in terms of the outcome. And what I chose with was I was very content with, and there was some cool moments where I was like, oh man, if I hadn't done that, maybe this situation would have played out differently. So I think it you might be able to skip these live action events, the TV show, excuse me. But based on what I've read, just from in game stuff, kind of tucked away. You search for them, you'll find out details of certain characters and just what's going on around the world. Um, it's definitely rewarding to get a feel for the world and have a greater understanding, and then you're more appreciative of the game itself, and I'm definitely enjoying myself so far. I might play a little bit of Act Two tonight, but I definitely recommend Quantum Break. The time mechanics feel very satisfying, and it's a gorgeous game. And the live action TV show, I at least was impressed with.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm definitely
wait
gonna
to play
pick
it.
that game up at some point. I fell in love with them when they way back when they made the first couple Max Payne games, and
Okay.
I love the shooting mechanics, everything in the story, and
Hmm.
I love that development team.
Oh yeah,
I still haven't played what's the other one yet? Is it Max Wake or something like that?
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake. Yeah.
And Max
So
Payne and Alan Wake.
yeah,
Mix them
Max Wake
together.
was the thinking. So one of these days I'm gonna go back and play that and probably pick up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I picked it up today, and it came like a steelbook case with some cool art on it, and I was like, oh wow, I wasn't expecting this. Maybe it was a pre-order bonus. I'm not sure, but it comes with a download code for Alan Wake and I think the Alan Wake DLC. And I haven't played Alan Wake, and I've heard nothing but good things. So I'm excited to check it out after I play through Quantum Break.
Cool.
Anyways, I know Grant will be reviewing it, so he's getting it later this week. So in the next week plus maybe 2 weeks,
2
be sure to check out the site for our review for Quantum Break. Anyways, what do you say we move on to the news storm?
No.
No?
No,
Boom.
let's skip the news story.
Oh man.
Yeah, boom.
Cody says Alan Wake is amazing. Boom. We're going to start off with the news. I am so excited to talk about
Yep.
this. Oh my god. Final Fantasy 15, the uncovered event hosted by Tim Geddes and Greg Miller. I thought it was a nice event. Most importantly, we have a release date and a whole plethora of details for the long anticipated and enigmatic Final Fantasy 15. So there were quite a few announcements, excuse me, on top of what we expected to be the release date. It was also leaked early, and I was trying my very hardest to not go on social media. And then I got out of work, and I go on Facebook, and I see the release date and a headline, and I was like, son of a gun. I wasn't too upset though because I was still going to watch the event because I think there's some other surprises. But first off, there's going to be an animated series that I believe the first episode is on YouTube. It's called Final Fantasy. I don't know if it's 15 Brotherhood or just Final Fantasy Brotherhood, and it kind of goes into the story of Noctis and his friends, the main protagonist and his dude bro buddies, and just, their relationship and how they came to be. I watched the first episode and it was entertaining. It gets me excited for that world and everything. I don't know when the second episode's coming out, but the first episode is on YouTube, and it looks pretty cool. Also, there's a full length feature film coming out called Final Fantasy Kingsglaive, and the cast is fantastic. There's Sean Bean from Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings.
He's gonna die.
Oh, absolutely. He does every role he's in. Lena Headey from Game of Thrones. She's a major role in that show. And then Aaron Paul from Breaking.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's just gonna be so awesome. The cast is fantastic, and I think I don't know. I'm not exact in the details. Let me look this up now. I believe this is either it goes into Noctis's father, Regis, and I think it's either when Noctis leaves his kingdom for story purposes, and it kind of goes into what transpires after that. Let's see. So it is okay. So the events of the film will take place within the story of Final Fantasy 15, and will primarily feature the characters of Luna Freya, Nox, Fleuret, and King Regis, and it will begin directly after Noctis and his friends set out on the journey. So okay, yeah. So it's after Noctis leaves. So that looks really cool. The animation was quite nice, and it's cool that we're not just getting a game. We're getting a feature length film and an anime. Because with Final Fantasy VII, we got the game, and then 10 plus years later, we finally got a movie, and I enjoyed the movie, but you know to go along with that hype, it would have been nice to have gotten the anime along with it, and we're getting that now with 15, and it's gonna build hype, and it gives you a better understanding of the relationship among the characters, and yes, Reggie Ice, Cody says, and just the overall feel of the world, and then some of the other small announcements. Final Fantasy 15 is getting a mobile game called Justice Monsters 5. I think it's a pinball game inside of Final Fantasy 15.
That looks awesome.
I think, I'm not positive. I think it's like their 15's mini game, because every Final Fantasy, has some kind of mini game, Tetra Master, Blitzball, etc. I think Dungeon Master 5 is that. And then there was the Final Fantasy 15 Platinum demo, which was, a 30-minute demo, and it focuses on a young Noctis and his dreams. And I played it. I thought it was okay. It looked great visually. Gameplay. It was nice to get a feel for how Final Fantasy 15, what I presume is going to feel like when you play it. It's smooth, and you can combo. You have like a long sword, and then like a hammer. You can kind of combo into the two, and do some branching attacks and everything. And it was pretty cool. There's a fight at the end which you transform into like adult Noctis, and it's just a really cool moment. And then Carbuncle, who's a summon throughout Final Fantasy, like an Aeon, whatever you want to call it, throughout Final Fantasy history, is in it, and it's so adorable. Um, there's also the deluxe and collector's edition. The deluxe edition comes. I'm gonna check this out now. I feel bad for anybody who didn't get to play Dusky. Cody says, "Yeah, I didn't get to play Dusky, and
I didn't get to play Dusky.
I'm
I loved it.
okay with that. If I can go in as blind as possible to Final Fantasy 15, the better, at least for me. So there's a deluxe edition for $90 that comes with the game, a steelbook case, and it's done. The case is gorgeous. It's done by longtime Final Fantasy artist Yoshitaka Amano. It's going to have the feature film Kingsglaive, and some DLC. And then there's the Ultimate Collector's Edition for $270 that comes with a nearly 200-page art book, a different steelbook case, the Brotherhood anime on disc, some DLC, and a Play Arts Noctis figurine. And I'm getting this edition. It's quite a price for it, But I think the main reason why it costs $270 is because the Noctis figurine that it comes with, that alone is like $130, $140. So that's about half or the bulk of why this is such a costly collector's edition. And there are only 30,000 available worldwide at the moment. I think they've talked about maybe making more, depending on maybe the success um, of the edition. I mean, I assume it's sold out by now. 30,000 is not a huge number.
You know what they should make? They should have another edition that includes that Audi.
Like
The FF15 Audi edition.
$6,000 edition. Yeah,
I love that announcement when they're like, because I thought it was gonna be like Call of Duty, how they always release like a Jeep line of Call of Duty Jeeps, and they were just like, but there's one car, and I was like, you're kidding me.
Yeah, just one Audi, and it's gorgeous, and it's like, maybe you're going that through a contest or something. Like, why would you show that? You're gonna make us want it. I don't understand. But yeah, I'm getting the mega $270 collector's edition, so that's probably all I'm gonna buy game wise for like 6 months because that's enough to cover 6 months of purchases for. um, and yeah, most importantly, the big news: Final Fantasy 15 is coming out September 30th, and this year it has a release date. It's great, coming to PS4 and Xbox One. I believe PC. I would assume PC. Not positive though. Yeah, I mean this game was. Oh, jeez. Whoops! I pulled up an ad. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Okay, Cody says no PC. Coleman Grill bonus edition. That would be something else. Yeah. We finally have a release date for this game. I can't believe it's real. Like I was going nuts. I was like, yes, finally we have a release date. It was such a good night. I was, watching the stream, and it was something magical. I remember during the stream, Greg and Tim were talking, and I started hearing other voices, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And they were talking in Japanese, and I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening? And I checked the Twitch chat, and other people were commenting too. And I was like, oh god, like of all times for this to happen, like maybe before the show, maybe after the show, like that's fine. Like during the main showing, I'm like, please.
Yeah, I thought I bumped a button on YouTube or something. I was like, what the hell did I do?
Yeah, I was like, oh, what did I press? I pressed something wrong. But yeah, it's oh my goodness, like the world looks gorgeous. You can drive around the car. They have like a dedicated Final Fantasy station which plays classic songs throughout the series. There's Chocobo drifting.
Yeah.
Everything about it looks magical, and I think Hajime Tabata said the game is only around 40 to 50 hours in terms of the main story, which is how long most of the Final Fantasy games are, at least the later games. So that's not too crazy of a number. And then of course there's going to be this massive world, so, side quests and everything. Hopefully that'll extend its legs if you want to go that route. I know I will. I can't believe this is real. I'm so excited for it. Do you guys have any interest in this game?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I played the Disc demo.
Okay,
and,
nice.
I loved it. I really liked it. So yeah, I'm super excited. I was one of those people that I was a fan back in like the Super Nintendo era, and then I don't know what happened. Like I loved the like Final Fantasy VII and all those games too, but then right around like the PS2 era, I kind of fell out for a while, and I jumped back in with 13, which was not a good thing to do because that was just. I was like, man, I don't like this series anymore after that. And then I don't know. I played some of the older games again to kind of like revitalize my spirit for it. And then after playing that demo, I was like, man, I'm really excited for this game.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Yeah, I barely even played any Final Fantasy, to be honest, like any of them. But since I watched a lot of gameplay on episode Disc whatever. So yeah, that I think looked really cool, and that with all the information that came out during this event, I'm definitely interested in it quite a bit.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, if you're not into JRPGs, then that's one thing. Hopefully, this showing maybe brought you back into Final Fantasy. It's gotten you excited again, or you're a new time comer, your first timer. Maybe that. I think this would be a good entry point. It's of course the thing with Final Fantasy is every game is different. Different story, set of characters and world and everything. So you can go into 15 and not having played 1 through 14, and you would be fine. So yeah, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, that's the best. I shared a link on my Facebook page, and I was like crying because the game's real. And my dad said he's like crying over a video game. And I was like, listen, fam, you cried over baseball, so I don't want to hear it.
That's awesome.
Wrecked. You can cry over your baseball. I'll cry over my video game. Anyways, we are already 40 minutes. Holy shit!
Yep.
Wow.
We'll probably have to skip some of the smaller stuff towards the end. So just hit the big points.
I do need to cuss there too. Anyways, Mass Effect Andromeda will have a seamless open world galaxy. This is on GameSpot.
Sounds
great. The story reads: a reported marketing survey for Mass Effect Andromeda has made it out into the wild, revealing some possible details about BioWare's upcoming entry in the spacefaring RPG franchise. Survey slides popped up on Reddit and NeoGAF recently via PC Games N, asking people a series of questions about the new game. One of the questions provides an overview of the game, which reveals it will take players into the Andromeda Galaxy where the series formula will be flipped on its head. And this is from the description reportedly. Quote, Mass Effect Andromeda takes players to the Andromeda Galaxy, far beyond the Milky Way, where players will lead the fight for a new home in history territory, where we are the aliens, opposed by a deadly indigenous race bent on stopping us. Excuse me. And I'll just read this next paragraph. It goes on. Experience the freedom to traverse and explore a planet dense. Oh, sorry, Max having problems. A planet-dense but seamless open-world galaxy rich with discovery. Play as the leader of a squad of military-trained explorers in an intense third-person shooter with deep progression and customization options. This is the story of humanity's next chapter, and player choices throughout the game will ultimately determine our survival in the Andromeda Galaxy. So, what do you guys think about this? Potentially having leaked, and it seems to be boasting this seamless galaxy and the next chapter in both the Mass Effect franchise and, from what it seems, the humanity, because it seems to be a whole new challenge for our race in this game.
They can pull it off.
Guy.
They can pull it off and still make it have a great story and gameplay and stuff like that. I think that sounds really good. Because, I mean, it's No Man's Sky, except No Man's Sky, there's not really a story. You're just kind of exploring. This one, I feel like you could be more invested into the world.
41 minutes, Brett destroyed your virgin ears. Never heard a curse word before. And then Colin says, you visit Earth 2 and take it from a Reaper like race, trying to convince the player you are the greater good. If anything, my biggest desire is I hope that these ultimate decisions that will impact the story and the world, I hope they just aren't as cut and dry as they were in the Mass Effect trilogy, where it's like option A, option B, option C, and you get one of those three. There wasn't much variation among the three, at least in my opinion. I know a lot of people had issues with the Mass Effect 3 ending or endings. But generally, though, I mean, new hardware, maybe we can see some vistas and everything that we weren't able to before, or just more creative ways to explore planets and everything. Because Mass Effect, there are all these planets you can mine on, and then they have the set planets where this is where you went for story purposes. It would be really cool if it were kind of like No Man's Sky, where you could go to a random planet. And, there's a chance this planet could have nothing but materials. Or there was a chance this planet could have, this crazy alien race and there's like a really good story underneath it, and it's it incentivizes you to explore, and it wouldn't have the infinite number of planets No Man's Sky will, but I would like to go on some explore some planets that aren't just for story purposes. Anyways, we move on to some Uncharted 4 news. So this is gonna pull this up real quickly.
So this first quote was by the Quantum Break developer.
Okay, so do you want to tell us what's going on with this story?
Yeah, okay. So, actually, wait, hold on. Let me mute this video. It's playing. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Uncharted 4 quote raises the bar, according to Quantum Break developer Remedy. Lots of new footage and impressions for Naughty Dog's Uncharted 4: Thief's End came online today, and one developer that's spoken out to praise the PS4 game is Quantum Break Studio Remedy. Marketing director Thomas Puha started things off with a tweet directed at Arnie Meyer of Naughty Dog, in which he explains the team at Remedy has been stunned by A Thief's End.
Yeah, this tweet reads, "Most of us at Remedy have been watching these Uncharted 4 videos today, just stunned in general how awesome it looks. Kudos, Arnie Meyer."
Yes. And then a later quote by their creative director is, "Neil, thank you for raising the bar and for inspiration."
Yeah, it's awesome that developers are, tweeting kind of things to each other. Your game, is a huge stepping stone for creativity, or pushing the limits that
Like inspires new ideas.
yeah, definitely. And Remedy themselves, they're such a creative studio, so it's awesome to see them going to Nog and I'm like, hey, we like your ideas and what you're doing with Uncharted 4. It's like, well, you guys are doing awesome things too with Alan Wake and Quantum Break and Max Payne and stuff. So it's cool to see the respect there. And I think there's another story in regards to Uncharted 4.
Yeah, okay, so I can go over this one too.
Okay.
Uncharted 4's ending will have people arguing, says the developer. A quote from him is, "I would rather have people hate it than be indifferent to it." So, like, just feel strongly about it instead of just kind of being okay with it. Given the ominous sounding title of Uncharted 4, many have wondered how the story will wrap up. Well, we'll have to wait until launch, until in May, to find out. Neil Druckmann has now said the game's ending will be divisive based on what he's heard so far from test groups. Quote, "I think people will discuss the ending. If focus tests are anything to go by, there will be some arguments about the ending. I'm excited. Indifference would be the worst thing. I would rather have people hate it than be indifferent to it. We'll see how they react."
Yeah, it tells me it's probably going to be like The Last of Us, like the ending of The Last of Us, or it was
Agreed.
kind of like, yeah, where
Because like I like the ending of The Last of Us, but like it's just kind of like I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. You just kind of have to experience it.
right. I was kind of on the fence of. I was actually really shocked when I went online after I beat that and saw that it was like a huge majority of people didn't like that ending. I think it was like 70 or 60% of people
Yeah,
disliked it, and I was in the group that really liked the ending of that. But
Well, I
I don't know.
dislike it, so
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
for what happens, I dislike what decision a certain character makes.
Mm-hmm. So
Just
I have a feeling like it's going to be something really close to that, and maybe it's just maybe it was like a really hard choice in the end, and you know, people won't like it, and some people will.
Yeah, yeah. I think I like that Druckmann. It was it Druckmann that said this?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that he wants people to have different feelings, and you want. I mean, Uncharted 4 is a huge deal. You want people to be passionate about your game. If you like the ending, awesome. If you don't like it, awesome. And as long as you are passionate about it, and of course, you want to fight people. Say you're wrong. No, you're wrong. If you can have two strong viewpoints and two totally different ends of the spectrum, and they're both, they both have weight to them, and their real emotion behind these, this ending, whatever it may be, that's great. That's a sign of a good game. There, people are talking about it because of this huge ending, and people care and they want to express their opinions. I'm sure we will see somewhere like an opinion piece. I wasn't a fan of Uncharted 4's ending, or I was a fan of Uncharted 4's ending,
Yeah.
and you can see it from maybe a different perspective. Maybe you like it, and then this writer doesn't like it, and you'll see why. And it's like, okay, I can respect that opinion, though I'm still a fan of the ending. I think it's definitely important to have different opinions and everything, and hopefully, um, what Druckmann proposes comes to fruition with not controversial, but an ending that will get people going.
Yeah, and then later on it says when he was asked directly if Nathan Drake would die at the end, he said, "You don't really want me to tell you."
Jesus, I did not want to hear that.
Yeah, I'm surprised he even went that far because it
He
just kind
said,
of
"Do you
sounds
really want me to tell you? You don't really want me to tell you."
yeah.
Yeah, if you said, "Do you really want me to tell you beforehand?"
Yeah,
I would have been like, okay, play it for.
yeah, he did say that.
But when you first led with, you don't want me to tell.
Yeah, when I just skipped the yeah, okay, that was I
I
probably
was like,
should have
oh
put that in
Jesus! Like
context.
I got a pessimistic feeling about that. I
Yeah,
was
the
like,
full quote was, "Do
oh,
you really want me to tell you? You don't really want me to tell you."
that is the full quote. I know, but
Yeah,
the second part, I was like, oh no, please.
yeah. If you cut out the first part, it kind of sounds like he's dead for sure.
Yeah, and take it without the first part. That's bad. Anyways,
I'll take that L.
Drake hanging off of a cliff. That is a cliff hanging of itself, Jason.
Yeah.
Ah.
um, let's
All
move.
right, we're at 50 minutes,
Yeah.
so just go ahead and hit the big ones.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the PlayStation Plus games for April. This year in April. I don't know what's this year. um, so we will be getting. Let's see. PS4 will be getting Dead Star. Which I think is like a team-based shooter in space, and then Zombie. If you have played Zombie U on the Wii U, it's that just the PS4 and Xbox One version. I'm excited to try this out. It'll be weird to play without the gamepad, but I enjoyed Zombie U, so I might check it out again. I got stuck on a puzzle. I was like, how the hell do you solve this? And I haven't played it in a while, but it's an intense game, and I would definitely check it out. PS3, you get Savage Moon and I Am Alive, and PlayStation Vita gets Shutushimi. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Shoot Shimi?
Shoot Yeah, Shoot Shimi. I'm sorry, I thought that was a U. I thought it was a U between the T and the S.
Shoot
And then
Shimi.
a virus named Tom. So at the time of this recording,
That one sounds really good.
Yeah. I want to play that one.
if it were one of those pandemic games, that'd be cool. Like like Pandemic 2, like the Flash game or something.
Or maybe it's like a metaphor, like this dude is just like has a terrible attitude and he just brings everyone down.
Yeah. Hey, your shoes are ugly. It's like, oh, Tom,
Tom, you're a virus.
I got these shoes yesterday. It's my birthday. I don't care. Yeah. The PS lineup it's okay. I think
Just how it's been, like, sorry, but Microsoft's been one-upping them quite a bit in free games.
I know Toby has put up a piece on his
Yeah,
stuff,
he did.
Comparing games with gold and PlayStation Plus. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I have been a bit disappointed with PlayStation Plus recently. But I'm not like, oh dang, where's that AAA game? Like we've been getting some awesome indies and games that I normally wouldn't. I mean, Rocket League, like games that you normally probably wouldn't have checked out, but through word of mouth and it's free, people start checking it out. Helldivers is free. Good. There's so many. I can't even think of it off the top of my head right now. But so many awesome games, and they do a great job of promoting the indies. You'd like to see one maybe bigger title every once in a while, maybe next month. But I have no problems with PlayStation Plus's offerings, and then Games of Gold. The last few months has been killing it with Sunset Overdrive and Lords of the Fallen. I think Borderlands 1 and all these other games. But there was a time, like a year ago, when it was Pool Nation FX for like 3 straight months. And I was like, why are we still getting this game 3 months in a row? And then, Some other games where we're like, I'm not crazy about this,
Yeah,
and
this
we
is
were upset then.
probably the most disappointing month so far, I think, for me anyways, because I've had Dead Star for some time now. And I'm not like a really big fan of it. I've played it a little bit. Like it was the beta, and it's like turning into the full game, I guess. Like so, I think I got the game for free anyways. But I mean, it doesn't really matter because everyone's getting it for free.
Hmm.
But then Zombie U 2, I got that on Wii U as well, and um, it was really interesting. But the most interesting thing about that game was the gamepad
Yes,
features. Was
absolutely, absolutely.
looking down at the gamepad and then like having to look at the back and forth the TV to make sure you weren't getting like swarmed by zombies when you're moving stuff around your backpack. But that feature's now gone on the PS4 version, so it doesn't interest me at all to go
Yeah,
back and play
I
that game.
remember the multiplayer. I played with a friend. Well, I think it was like co-op multiplayer. I thought it was so much fun. I don't know if you had a chance to play it, but
No, I didn't play
it was
multiplayer.
basically how it worked was the person on the gamepad, had an overhead map of, I guess, the level or the arena you were playing on, and they could drop zombies wherever, and then they would unlock the high level zombies, and the player playing on the TV, he'd run around with limited ammo because that's how zombie use intensity works. Like your bullets are scarce and everything. There's shotguns and sometimes like a machine gun or something, and like defense turrets. But you have no idea where the zombies are gonna pop up, and it's great being mischievous. It's like, oh, like you better not turn around because like there's three zombies right there, and they get to you, and it's, oh Jesus, like you have to be, constantly moving around and like turning every corner just to see. Um, I don't know how or even if it's implemented in the PS4 or Xbox One version, but that's probably my favorite part of Zombie U. It was really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, let's finish off with a possible God of War 4 rumor it's interesting, to say the least. Constance, I heard Zombie U was good, so I'm glad to check it out. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I played. I was like a permadeath. It's almost like a roguelike uh, kind of game where you die. You have to find your bag of supplies, and the next person will take it over, and you kind of continue from there. But so this story is on GameSpot. It says, uh, God of War 4, based on Norse mythology, suggests leaked art. It reads, although Sony is yet to officially announce or detail a new entry in the God of War series, rumors have surfaced suggesting God of War 4 may be based on Norse mythology instead of Greek. On April 4th, Twitter user Shinobi602, who has previously leaked accurate information on games, tweeted, to the halls of Valhalla, my boy, hashtag God of War 4, and in response, NerdLeaks did some digging and found its way to a website belonging to a former Sony Santa Monica artist, uh, Finian McManus. A private section on the website contained artwork featuring a character that looks similar to series protagonist Kratos, and Kratos has his iconic red body tattoo, and he can be seen in various Norse mythology-inspired environments. Um, it's appeared on NeoGAF and everything, but I think it's since been removed. It's worth noting the last main God of War game was God of War Ascension on PlayStation 3 in 2013. Um, I'm not crazy about the idea. I guess the idea of like how could you make God of War work in Norse mythology? Because I mean, when you think of God of War, you think of Zeus, Ares, Athena, all these Greek gods,
Right.
in these mythological creatures like the Taurus and everything.
They'd probably
So
be replacing them with like Odin and Thor and Balden and all those
yeah,
gods and stuff.
it would definitely be cool. It's a new, fresh take. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
it's fresh
would
start.
it feature Kratos? Or maybe just someone that's pretty much the same person, or not quite sure how exactly it's going to work. We'll see. I think we're due for a God of War, even just an announcement. It's been 3 years, and hopefully
Right.
that's still a franchise that Sony wants to invest in. So we'll see. I just, maybe a new protagonist or just a new situation because obviously for, purposes of 1, 2, 3 in Ascension, you can't do Greek gods anymore.
Yeah, I looked at some of the leaked art, and there is a character in some of the art images, and he looks like Kratos because he's got like the same markings, but it definitely looks like a new character, even
Yeah, I
though he's
thought
got
they
like
would
the
go for a
same
new
kind of
character.
markings. Um,
Nice.
this is interesting though, because I remember 2 years ago at E3, it was rumored. I guess it wasn't even really rumored. Someone talked to someone from Sony Santa Monica and just said like, "Hey, where's God of War 4?" Because I think it was like rumored to be shown there, but it wasn't. And then it just like came out of someone's mouth from Sony Santa Monica that they were working on a God of War
That's
4.
right. Yep. It was David Jaffe who
Yeah.
helped work on the game when he's like, "Oh yeah, we're working on it." He's like, "Oops."
Weren't they working on a space game too? Then it got canceled, or did a different
God
game
of War
get canceled?
Space.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't God of War. It was like a
You
new
defeat
IP.
planets now and black.
Kratos Galaxies or
Oh
something.
my gosh. I know at least David Jaffe's team is working on Drawn to Death. So, and I believe he was part of God of War's development, throughout the series. So I'm not sure exactly what, but I remember that thing you were talking about, Jason, with him, saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's real," and that was I think in 2014. So, it's been 3 years since Ascension. So we'll see. Anyways, that is going to wrap up episode 57 of the GameBolt Podcast, which again is the official podcast of thegamebolt.com, which normally posts to iTunes every Tuesday and YouTube every Wednesday, but this time it'll be iTunes tomorrow, Wednesday, and YouTube on Thursday. And if you have any topics, feel free to tweet at us at _GameBolt with suggestions for topics or just to get our thoughts on anything news related. And of course, some of the recent stuff on the site, like I put up my MLB 16 show review. Ryan put up his Walking Dead Michonne episode 2 review. I think Toby put up his PlayStation Plus versus Games of Gold article. Dylan wrote a really nice piece in preparation for Dark Souls 3 on why he loves the Dark Souls series. So that should be coming up in the next few days too. So we've got a lot coming up, and of course
We'll need to get a Dark Souls guy on the show.
yeah. We're gonna get him on the week after the episode after next. So I guess episode 59 because next Tuesday Dark Souls 3 will be out, and he's reviewing that, and he'll be playing it. So I don't want to give his impressions, like 3 hours in. Like I want him to get, some sizable time within, more concise thoughts. So yeah, a lot of big reviews coming up soon. We got a lot of big games, and then of course, all of our features and everything. So we're always pumping out content. We're streaming. I think Cody's doing another, at least lengthy, Twilight Princess stream, and yeah. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow the Gamebolt at _Gamebolt. You can follow Grant at
Grant Ram 3.
You can follow Jason at
J_Smash1.
And you can follow me at Brett Woodmansee, WOODMANSEE. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you next week. Take it easy.